So my sincerest apologies about this video. It's only pictures and me doing a voiceover. I wasn't able to do a proper second part of the tutorial because I had to finish this bag up pretty quick towards the end, so I didn't have time to do it in detail the way I did part one of this video. So my apologies for that. But let me try and explain what's going on here. Okay, so kind of going backwards, now we're going to be working on the lining and the inside and finishing up the bag, which doing the lining part is pretty much the exact same thing that you did construction-wise for the outside shell of the bag. As you can see here in the picture, I have the pattern piece lying down and I'm about to cut it. The pattern piece for the pocket is number 2, I believe, or number 1, you'll see it right there. I had already cut it out and fused the interfacing to it in part 1 of the video. So now what you're going to have to do with the pocket is fold down 1/2 inch all around on 4 sides, press and stitch it down to, finish it. Because right now when you get out your lining, before you assemble it, as you can see on pattern piece 1, it has an outline for the pocket placement. And so you want to go ahead and transfer those markings to your lining on one side of your bag, so that way you know where to properly place the pocket. And please do so before you start sewing the lining together, just because it's easier to get that part under your machine than when you have the whole bag done lining wise. So when you sew the pocket to the lining, have it in that marking for that placement. And then you're just going to sew a U, leaving the top open, obviously, because you want to put your hand in it to put stuff in your pocket. And you want to reinforce back stitch at the top of the bag where the pockets are. So you'll do a U, do 2 back stitchings on the top of the U on the sides of the pocket for reinforcement. And then, like I said, when you construct your lining, just follow the directions. If they want you to put the fusibles or interfacing to it, I don't remember. Obviously, I'm doing this voiceover long after this bag has been constructed, but you'll see it'll tell you in the simplicity instructions. And then just construct the bag the exact same way I showed you in part 1 when I was putting the bag together from the outside. Okay, and then same thing, after you do that, turn it inside out and press it. Remember how I was saying in the first video, good habit, stitch press, so that way your bag will be very clean looking. Don't forget about clipping your corners. So as you can see in this part, if you look at the picture, it looks like I have it, the lining bag and then the actual bag like inside of each other, which is what I do have, because at this point we're going to join the lining and the bag, and I'm just trying to do it real quick and easy here. So I have them the outside shell right side facing the wrong side of the lining, and I kind of just dropped the main bag into the lining first, and then what I did was I matched up all my seams and I pinned all the way around. So we're going to, it's kind of like sewing a pillow in a way. So we're going to sew all the way around the bag, but leave like a big opening at some point so you can stick your hand in there. And then you're going to pull the main part of the bag out of the lining and kind of flip everything right side out. And then after you do that, you can tuck the lining into the bag as you're supposed to, so it's in there properly. Make sure that you do have the correct side of the lining facing outwards at you when you open your bag, so that way your pocket's there. So just kind of be careful on that. You might, in case you put it backwards or something. And then after that, you just pull out the, let's see, what is it? Yeah, and then you just, sorry, you pull out the bag, flip it inside out, kind of press that seam down from what you sewed on the top of the bag. And then you're going to just close up the hole. So you want to, press it, pin that hole up just like the way you would when you're closing up a pillow. And then you're going to top stitch all around the top of the bag. And then just, I mean, after that, that's pretty much it. As long as you already have your pocket sewn onto your lining before you match up the seams when you're about to sew the lining to the bag together and then flip it inside out. You could stop there, but if you're continuing on with the instructions, as you can see, there are some dots, and it does mention it for some snaps if you do want to have snaps to close your bag. So at this point, you can take out your pattern pieces again, which is, I believe, piece 3, and it has the markings, which are the dots, the circles, for the snap placement. And the great thing about, doing bags like this, you can do it however you want. In the stock photo on top of the Simplicity pattern, the snaps are on the outside because you snap them together and then it makes the bag into like a little triangle, like a little lunch bag kind of. Or you could put them on the inside and it snaps so the bag could look longer, or you could put them on the outside. So you could put them inside or outside. Just use the pattern piece number 3 for your placement, or it might be on pattern piece 1. Again, my apologies. I'm doing this without the instructions, just by memory. But you'll see it'll talk about the snaps, and you can put them on at this point. So you can put them on inside or outside if you want it to look like the stock photo. And then after that, you are done if you've already glued on your patches to cover the handle ends that I was telling you about in the first part of the video. That should be it, and that's your bag. If you have any questions about this really crappy video, I do apologize. Just, ask me. I'm always here to answer your questions. I want you to be able to make stuff that you will enjoy for years to come. Thank you so much for watching this.